Welcome to this week's edition of WorldView, a news program by Summit's World History classes. My name is Ruthie.
And my name's Ricky. Problems continue at the nuclear plant in Japan that was damaged by an earthquake 9 months ago. At least 45 tons of radioactive water has been leaked and may reach the Pacific Ocean. According to officials, all the water that has been leaked thus far has 1 million times as much radioactive strontium as the maximum safe level set by the Japanese government.
This past weekend, the Chinese government responded to rumors that they were planning to help with the debt crisis in Europe. Chinese Vice Minister in charge of Foreign Affairs said, "The argument that China should rescue Europe does not stand, as reserves are not managed that way. This is the first statement that China has no interest in helping Europe at this critical time."
The European Union is frantically trying to come up with a rescue plan for the euro. A recession is looming and banks are rapidly declining. Economists have warned that the situation is urgent and measures must be taken now. One of the CEOs of a major corporation has said, "It is very unlikely that the European Union can come back from such a strong recession."
In Afghanistan, women are being put at risk every day. They are facing unfair trials that are forcing them to live in fear. A married woman was accused of adultery because a man who wasn't her husband treated her inappropriately. She was given the option of going to jail or marrying the man who forced himself on her. Many heard about her ordeal, and some European filmmakers are making a movie about her and 3 other women who are facing similar problems. Unfortunately, the movie may never be released because of the danger that will come to the women if it became known that they told their stories.
On Saturday, 15 people were killed in Lebanon in a fight between Syrian security forces and defectors from the Syrian army. Such fighting has been going on for 9 months since the first uprising against President al-Assad, and during that time, 4,000 people have been killed. The international community has spoken out against violations of human rights and fundamental freedoms by the government led by President al-Assad.
On November 26, a NATO airstrike killed 24 Pakistani troops. This was said to be an accident and not an intended attack. But because of the risk that the relationship between the United States and Pakistan could be damaged, President Obama called the Pakistani president and made it very clear that it was not an attack. However, Pakistan will not be attending an international conference in Germany in order to show their displeasure with the incident.
The African nation of Congo continues to struggle to create a democratic government. During its recent national elections, the voting process faced such difficulties as the absence of ballot boxes and skirmishes in bordering countries that have spread into the Congo. The results of the election will not be known until December 6th, and many fear that the announcement of the result will result in violence.
This past Sunday, Russia held its parliament elections. Although United Russia, the party of Prime Minister put in and the party that has been in control, got fewer votes than expected, they still received over half. One Russian voter said, "I think we need to allow one side to be stronger so that we will move forward, even if that movement is slow." But then she also used the analogy, "Russians are like bears." She said, "We are so patient, but when our patience ends, then we begin to growl." Many fear that United Russia has abused its power.
Voting has also been taking place in Islamic countries in Northern Africa and the Middle East. Many of these elections are for officials to take over recently overthrown governments. Islamic political parties are doing better than expected in Egypt. The moderate Islamic Brotherhood received 40% of the votes, while the more extreme Al-Noor Salafi movement received only 20%. Many people view this as a positive sign since the Muslim Brotherhood wants to address such issues as women's rights and not concentrate on strict Islamic laws.
The Egyptian elections are in full swing now. The Muslim Brotherhood, a Muslim organization that supports a more modern view of the holy law of Islam, is currently the leader of the campaigns. And second is Salafis, who supported very conservative views of Islam. The Salafis take their view so far that they won't even print out pictures of their own female candidates. And it's beginning to worry many Egyptians Egyptian liberals in the West. The last thing they want is for another country to take years and years before women have rights. Without them liking it or not, it looks like this problem will have to be ruled by a debate. Let's go to Anna for school service.
In school service this week, we finished up Operation Gratitude in the food drive. Thanks to everyone who participated. They were great successes. Also, don't forget that Friday is the last day to buy baked goods in the cafeteria to help the Heifer Foundation. Now here is Fred with this week's Summit Sports News.
Hello. Let's see how our Summit sports teams are doing. The boys' varsity basketball team won their first 2 games of the season and lost an extremely close game in overtime against Noble Academy. The girls' varsity basketball team is off to a great start with 2 wins and 2 losses. The boys' junior varsity basketball team also has 2 wins and 2 losses. The girls' junior varsity basketball team has 2 wins and 2 losses as well. The 6th grade girls' basketball team has 4 wins and 3 losses. And finally, the 6th grade boys' basketball team has a perfect record with 10 wins and no losses. Great job to all of our sports teams, and keep up the great work. To the rest of you, go out and support your Screaming Eagles. Also, good luck to Adam, who is heading to Hawaii to compete in a marathon. That's all the sports for this week.
Now let's check in with El Tiempo Aguilas for the weekend weather.
Buenos dias, amigos. Yo me llamo Brooke Maynard.
Y yo me llamo Elizabeth Orr. Bienvenidos al programa El Tiempo Aguilas. Este es el pronóstico para el fin de semana.
Viernes la temperatura alta es 56 grados. Va a estar nublado. Sábado la temperatura alta es 48 grados. Va a hacer sol. Domingo la temperatura alta es 45 grados. Va a hacer sol.
¡Qué bien! Necesito llevar unos pantalones, una chaqueta y una camisa.
Es todo por ahora. Adiós.
Thank you, Brooke and Elizabeth. Goodbye, everyone, from this week's WorldView crew.
Goodbye, and remember to tune in again. Happy holidays!